let's talk about the Stanley Cup Finals, Horwat, because listen, not very often, and I can't remember the last time that we have seen a Stanley Cup final with this much talent, where you can honestly say, looking at the field of 16, that the two best teams, the two most exciting teams, have made it through to the finals. So when it's Tampa Bay Lightning looking for a three-peat, their third straight Stanley Cup against the Colorado Avalanche, Nathan MacKinnon, Cale Makar, all those fun players there, I am extremely excited for game one through hopefully game seven starting on Wednesday evening. What are your initial thoughts of this matchup?
The Avalanche got over the hump, and that's a hard team to beat right away.
Yeah.
That's the biggest takeaway. I think these last few years, it's been all about teams getting over humps. Even Tampa Bay, for that matter. Their first one came at a time of, well, they couldn't get past whatever round. They just couldn't get it done. But then they did it. Then they made it to the finals, and there was no stopping it. Despite Dallas's best efforts, there was no stopping Tampa Bay in the bubble. The second season, well, they were just that good. And also, they got over the hump of the salary cap. They figured it out, and they won again. You go back to St. Louis, winning a round and making it all the way there. Washington getting out of the second round, getting all the way there. Pittsburgh in 16 was just winning a round, making it all the way there and doing it twice. So the Avalanche made it over theirs. I'm going to say it's their turn finally. I think they're going to find a way to beat Vasilevsky. I get he's good. And I didn't know if you wanted predictions, but I think for what to watch is it's an extremely talented Colorado Avalanche team that is hungry to get it done. Nathan MacKinnon is hungry to get it done. Mm-hmm. It'll be entertaining as all hell just because it is such a great goalie at the other end. And Vasilevsky, in an elimination game again, he shut it down. Mm-hmm. Stupid numbers. I get he let up a goal, but still unreal stuff. And I think with the Penguins going into their three-peat year, you could tell they played a lot of hockey. You cannot tell the Lightning have played a lot of hockey. Maybe it's because two of those seasons were shortened, and in reality, they had a whole 5 months off, something like that, before going into the bubble and playing half playoffs. Mm-hmm. Suddenly you take that first season out and you don't talk about those games that they played because there's a whole break there. So really they've played 2 seasons going into this one. Overthinking things. They're not as battered and bruised as the Penguins were going into their three-peat year. It's interesting. I think there's no one on that team that looks to be dead inside. They're all hungry. They all know that they can keep doing it.
Yeah, and the only injury for them that is really substantial now, of course, they have to check with Victor Hedman after that headshot he took from Alexis Lafreniere in Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals. But the biggest injury for them heading into it is Braden Point, who they could have back as soon as Game 1 of this series, which is absolutely massive. And it just adds to the spectacle that will be this series because on both sides of the puck, and it's interesting, these teams have so much firepower. You talk about Braden Point getting back into the lineup. That would be huge for Tampa Bay. But Steven Stamkos is firing on every single freaking cylinder right now. 2 goals in Game 6 to take it home for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Then you have to add on the fact that Nikita Kucherov has never been bad in his life. Victor Hedman is absolutely ridiculous. Mikhail Sergachev started to show his offensive power in that series against the New York Rangers. This is a team that just from the top down has threats all over the place. And that's not without even talking about a guy like Pat Maroon, who's going for his 4th straight Stanley Cup, or a guy like Ross Colton, who was integral last season in the Eastern Conference Finals and is integral again in this postseason. So this is a team that is absolutely stacked to the gills. And then you look at Colorado, and they're more stacked. Cale Makar, I've already talked about him on shout-outs and call-outs so many times this year because he's that dang good. Nate MacKinnon is amazing. Landeskog is a freaking bulldog, and same with Mikko Rantanen. Another question on their end is Nazem Kadri. He's had a great season. They don't know whether or not he's going to be able to return after that hit from behind from Evander Kane. He had a broken thumb, I believe it was, or a broken finger, and he had to require surgery, but they've had 8 full days off heading into this. He also was off a couple days prior to that. Does he make his way back in by Game 5, Game 6? Who knows? But either way, those guys being back, plus Darcy Kemper, the fact that these teams are getting healthy as well makes it all that much more exciting. And the last thing I want to say about it is, while they have such good offenses, you already mentioned Andrei Vasilevsky is the greatest goalie in hockey right now. Quickly becoming the greatest goalie of all time. Or at least in that conversation. I wouldn't say quickly becoming because, Brodeur, Waugh, they're that dang good.
Yeah.
But he's getting into that conversation, and this would obviously cement his legacy. But Colorado isn't a joke defensively either. So this is a series that, while everybody's expecting it to go, 8-7, 8-6, 7-5, we just saw Tampa Bay win a series against New York where most of the games were 3-2, 2-1, 3-1 with an empty net goal. So I think this makes for a great matchup. They say styles make matchups, and these two styles meld perfectly together, and it's going to be a great chess match.
It'll be a ton of fun. It'll be so much fun. You ready for Jack Johnson to win Stanley Cup, everybody?
Yes, I am. I'm certainly ready for that.
You know what? Good for him. Good for him. Absolutely. It'll be worth it.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see him win a Stanley Cup. I'd like to see Nathan MacKinnon get one. I'd like to see Cale Makar get one at a young age.
Absolutely.
But to me, at the end of the day, I don't care who wins the Stanley Cup. I know some people are like, no, we don't want to see Tampa win their third straight. I don't care. Like, this is like the Alabama thing.
Yeah.
As soon as Alabama won so many, it's like, let's see how far they can push this. And it's with the Tampa Bay Lightning, 11 consecutive playoff series wins. I want to see how far they can push this.
Yeah, the difference between with Alabama, though, is at least the Lightning have likable people.
That's true, yeah.
At least the Lightning is likable. Like, sure, let's see how far Alabama can push it. Let's not see how far Nick Saban can push it. That's enough of that.
The other thing, too, is Alabama is, they don't technically earn that as much because people favor them that put them in that situation. I know that they're usually the best players, and college football is what it is. But the NHL is more deservingly so. I understand what you're saying.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I do like the Penguins bias, though, of no other team can have more cups in a row right now in the cap era. We can't have a team hitting 3. They can have their 2. It's fine. We both have 2. Way to go. Handshakes and move on. They can't have more than us. They cannot have more than us. That's the hardcore Penguin fan theory. Also, you got to remember Crosby's best friend and second best friend in McKinnon and Jack Johnson. Mm-hmm. It's still a fun ride. I think the Lightning, at least they're likable. That's all.
Yeah. So let's finish this off with our Stanley Cup Finals predictions. Horwat, I'll let you lead. It seems like you're leaning towards the Avs.
Yeah, absolutely. I am. I think, again, I know that the Lightning don't seem to be dead tired. They don't. I mean, they did a little bit against the Rangers, but I think that maybe just could have been the Rangers playing with house money. Once they got out of the first round, it was their playoffs to lose. But the Lightning, the trip does have to end at some point. Mm-hmm. I think you're right. Let's see how far they can take it. But I think 2 is enough. I do think the Avalanche are just a different animal right now. Nathan MacKinnon's on a different level. Cale Makar, who has more points than him, is on a different level.
Yeah.
If they get Kadri back, it might be fully game over. This is a weird team. I get that. Vasilevsky might make it a low-scoring series. My only question mark with the Avalanche is Kemper going to be back?
He expects to be back, yeah.
Okay. Also, Francouz is 6-0, so
yeah,
take that for what you will as well. I think as questionable as that goaltending may be because you're starting with your backup, hey, your backup is undefeated right now in the playoffs, so got something rolling for you. And I think it'll be interesting. It'll be entertaining. I do just have my hat in the Avalanche ring is who I am A, rooting for, and B, genuinely think can do it.
Mm-hmm. When I look at this series, first and foremost, I am praying with all of my might that there are 7 of these games because they're going to be very good. There's a lot of star power. They both play a physical style too, so if you like that side of hockey, that's in there as well. They're 2 teams that are well coached, but Jared Bednar is one of the best coaches in hockey, and John Cooper obviously is what he is. When I look at this series, I want to say it's going to go the full 7. I am hoping it goes the full 7. But when I look at those 11 consecutive playoff series wins for the Tampa Bay Lightning, there has been only 2 series that have gone the distance. That is the Stanley Cup semifinals last year against the New York Islanders, and that is the first round this year against the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Oh, yeah.
The other 9 didn't go 7. So honestly, and how often do we get a 7-game series in the Stanley Cup Finals? It's not very often that you see that. The last time we saw it was in 2019 between the Bruins and the St. Louis Blues. And before that, was it the Penguins in 09? I'm pretty sure it was. Oh, no. There was a game 7 in Vancouver between them and the Bruins back in 2011? So 3 in the past 13 years. So I don't think it goes 7 games. And with that, clearly, I'm wearing a Colorado shirt today. It's Colorado Red Rocks because I don't have a Colorado Avalanche shirt. Maybe I'll have to get one if they win a Stanley Cup. But I have the Avs in 6. I don't like picking against the Tampa Bay Lightning because they know how to do it. They have the formula. It's a science to them right now. But at some point, like you said, the ride has to end. And the Colorado Avalanche are without a doubt the best team that this Tampa Bay Lightning team has faced in the past 3 postseasons. You look at who they played in the Stanley Cup Finals in the bubble. Dallas was a shock to be there. They were a good team.
Yeah.
They were a shock to be there. Even more so last year with the Montreal Canadiens. That was a Cinderella story that as long as the Tampa Bay Lightning were able to beat Carey Price, it was going to be over. And the only reason that it wasn't a sweep was because Carey Price stole a game. So looking at this series, I think what you saw early on in that Eastern Conference Final against the New York Rangers is there is a chink in the armor of the Tampa Bay Lightning. And if there's any team that's going to expose it, it's going to be the Colorado Avalanche. I'd love to see it in 7, but I have the Avs in 6. I wouldn't be surprised in the least if it does get pushed to 7, but I'm not going to put my official prediction on it.
That's totally fair. I agree with you on that too. 6.
So we're both on the Avalanche, and I know our buddy from the Official Caps Chirp podcast, Paulie Cupcakes, is an Avalanche fan, so he'll be happy to hear that if he still listens to the pod. But nonetheless, it seems like a lot of people are on the same side. I'm just excited to watch hockey, Horwat.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're all excited to watch it. What will be a fun series, regardless of who you root for, how you root. It'll be a fun series. It'll be fun hockey to watch. Hockey fans are going to enjoy it. The casual viewer is going to have a good time.
The only last thing that I want to mention about it is Game 3 and 4 are at Amalie Arena in Tampa Bay. I'll be in St. Petersburg next week. Maybe I should go. It's a hard ticket. Tickets go on sale tomorrow. So maybe I'll look at it. And if it's not like my entire month's rent.
But it will be.
But I also, it will be. So at least I'll be in the same area. And maybe, who knows, maybe I'll try to finagle a press pass or something.
Finagle a press pass. Hey, if they sweep, you'll get down there for the parade.
Hey,
there you go.
Down there for the boat parade. That would be a pretty cool experience.
That's the move. There it is.
It'll probably be on Friday, so that'll be my last day, but still. Nonetheless, that's going to do it for this episode of The Tip of the Ice-Burgh presented by Inside the Penguins. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will be back on Thursday to talk more Pittsburgh Penguins, whether it's news, analysis, or us just basically shooting the shit about the offseason. We'll be here on The Tip of the Ice-Burgh Thursday around noon time is when it will be uploaded. That's going to do it for this episode. Have a great weekend, Pens fans.